Thank you for inviting me.
Okay, we are here at Gabriel Lozzi, where your studio is. Okay, so we're gonna have a chat, and we'll talk about actually a bit your background, and then you're gonna talk a bit about your techniques, and we're gonna talk a bit about the meaning of your art or what you want to communicate. But I would say let's start in a classic way. So maybe you can introduce yourself and talk a bit about your background and maybe the path for you to become the artist you are today.
So my name is Lucie, as you said. Now I'm finishing Academy of Fine Arts. So this year it's my diplomacy year, and before I studied high school in Olomouc. So it was quite a change to then start at the Academy of Fine Arts. But I'm so happy I choose this school because it literally opened my eyes, and I was able to to work and do and learn stuff I really like. The love for art, I would say, it was influenced by my mother, who from my elementary school brought me every year to Florence to explore galleries, to explore Italy, and she always told me, she was telling me stories about art, what is behind, who was the muse of the artist. And also my parents are art collectors. Basically, they're collecting erotic art. so maybe you can see their little influence. So I think this combination and lot of creative hobbies I did, and also I did with my mom. It started this really deep interest in me to do art.
You touched on this one here. So the first question would be about the subject of your work, right? So you can maybe tell about this erotic influence or just the type of work you do. And the second one is very interesting, the technique, right? I think you describe yourself as a textile artist, if I'm not wrong, or maybe not. But let's start with one of the two. You want to talk a bit first about your technique or your subject or both?
Maybe I can start with technique. During high school, as I said, I wanted to be a fashion designer. So I always had this passion for materials, for exploring this world of fabrics, of fashion. But then I visited some fashion schools, and I wasn't really interested in this kind of mood, what was inside those schools. And but this deep love for materials, for things, stayed inside. And then I decided to apply for a painting studio, and I tried to forget about this love for sewing, for materials. But then it appeared again, and I had this. I needed to be in this tighter relationship with my painting, not just with a brush trying to paint something, but really to build something from scratch. So I started not so far ago explore more materials. I tried to use cords and do this macrame technique, where I wanted to bring something from past and try to rediscover this technique in fine arts. But then when I was in New York during residency, I bought for $80 this sewing machine on Facebook Marketplace, and I started sewing, and it really changed my world, because when I'm sewing, I completely forgot that the time exists. I don't know if it's the sound of machine or the process when you have to use your imagination, ears, when you're listening to this monochromatic noise.
Okay, I get it.
Mono noise. and your feet, because you are like influencing the speed of the machine. So I'm completely lost in time when I'm doing this. So it's like an addiction. I cannot stop using these materials, this sewing technique.
So I'm quite interested in that. When you create a work, how is the process? You have a sketch, or it develops over time when you are doing the work itself. How does it generally work when you create something?
I would say that the first thing are those like small details and things I see around me. Then somehow it stays inside of me, and sometimes like the painting starts with a picture, with a photo, or with a sketch, or I can combine sketches and photos all together. But weather is really influencing me when it comes to colors and place where I create those things. I don't know, it's really, it depends, but like sketches and photos are the base for me.
Okay.
But sometimes I can find interesting materials and do a painting just about this specific material. So sometimes it's also like this.
Okay. Can you, while we are here, can you give us, for instance, an example, one of the paintings that you created and was actually, you basically created the work based on the material that you chose?
Mm-hmm. For example, in New York City, there's a huge part of like Manhattan dedicated just to fabrics, and I found there really interesting vinyl, and it was shiny and pink. It was like liquid rose gold, and I completely fell in love with this material. So I bought it, and then I did painting where I used this material as a face mask, and the story behind was that this like prettiness can be used as armor, something like this. It's like when you are, it's many times it is like the prettier you are, it's easier to deal with problems, with things all around you, this like kind of issue.
Okay, so I think you just there was a fantastic intro to the next question I wanted to ask you about the subject of your work, right? I know you reference yourself a lot of times in your works. Can you maybe tell us more about why you decide to go this way, or just give us a better idea of that?
At the beginning of my studies at Academy of Fine Arts, I was trying to find like the perfect subject for me, because I wasn't feeling to do art based on climate crisis, based on politics. So I was trying to find more personal subjects, because for me there's a great importance of honesty, being honest in my stuff. So then I was working with those eating disorders, because when I was in high school, I really wanted to be a model. So I visiting those agencies, trying to be as beautiful, as thin as possible. I like explored this world of anorexia, bulimia, and then I worked with this during my studies at Academy of Fine Arts, where I used corset as a symbol in my work. As a self, like defying thing, where you just like defying your shape, your body based on like general opinion. So and I slowly was trying to find this like exact theme I want to discover. So, but like in my newest paintings, it's more about me, about my life, how the world is like defying me. I use this selfie as a how to say it, as a new kind of perspective, how we see more or less, how we see so many girls and women these days on Instagram, on social sites, how we are photographing, how we are taking photos of ourselves in a mirror. For me, it's like a symbol of like nowadays, and it's really strong because you are most of the time you are showing your whole body as a main subject, but you are covering face with a phone. So this is creating me attention. Also, for me nowadays, it's interesting to see how sharing your own photos, for example, Instagram and OnlyFans, how it changed our perspective, how we see naked bodies, how many naked bodies are there every day. And in those new paintings, I'm trying to discover the tension, what is behind. So I'm working with a background where I'm trying to discover, for example, bathroom where the photo is taken, and like open and create those questions. For example, so why there's a toilet, and is it clean bathroom? Is it dirty bathroom? What it's like? Is it telling something more about the person? Is it just the body? And like the main subject is the background. So these are the themes. And for the latest exhibition, I tried to discover also the tension between photos and those like short hashtags, short like quotes, where you post almost naked photo and I don't know, here you have a quote from Aristoteles. Yeah. It's like this like strange story which is appearing nowadays.
Maybe this is a difficult question. So it's about the aim or what you want to communicate with your art. You already told us pretty much a lot of things, but it would be interesting for me to see if you can summarize. Say if you can summarize what you want to communicate in one paragraph. What would you say? What are the most important things that you like to communicate through your art?
I think that generally it's an honest picture of myself living these days, dealing with like everyday situation, everyday issues, relationships, a long distance relationship, and just like honest picture of myself.
Okay. Can you tell us about your latest, what you're working right now? You can also give us names of the paintings, then we can reference it. You can tell us actually maybe just current exhibitions, future exhibitions, latest works, so to get a better picture of what's going on right now as we speak, let's say.
I prepared a really interesting exhibition in České Budějovice, and that was a really important exhibition for me because I was able, thanks to curator Petra Lexová, I was able to create a dialogue with textile artist Věra Boudníková-Špánová, which was like the most active in 70s. And she was doing tapestries, and I was able to create this exhibition with her work, like really huge landscape tapestry, and with my really figurative stuff. and it was really, really interesting, and let's be honest, also difficult to trying to combine these two worlds, nature and body, but like concept behind, or I feel there that the Viera tried to preserve, to work with landscapes, because at that time, during normalization, nature was synonym for freedom, more or less. Artists were escaping to nature because they wanted this freedom. And now at that exhibition, I was working with rituals, with hair, shaving, and I was also trying to explore this freedom of this like beautiful nature things, let's say. There's also an interesting exhibition in a note. Curators are Marek Meduna, Petr Dub, which are my professors from Academy of Fine Arts, and also Pavel Kubesa, which is curator of that space. It was an interesting opportunity for me because they wanted to start this project. It's called Meduna Dub Takeover or so something like this, and I was the first to exhibit there, so it was really an opportunity for me. And for that exhibition, I created some new paintings, mainly around this like selfie theme. And also we used some other older stuff dedicated to shaving. And an upcoming exhibition it's going to be in Nook Art next week. And for that exhibition, I wanted to open this, or like take a step, take a next step in my work for me. And I, for the first time, tried to use professional embroidery. So, like the most significant painting for me, it's a self-portrait where I'm trying to push my boobs as close as possible to make them look bigger. And it's this painting is documenting those like body issues I had, and as I'm also talking with other women, many of us had, and there's around advertisements for enlarging boob operation, and so it's surrounded with all these like advertisements and stuff to also create this kind of paradox. And all these advertisements I saw on the internet as a sponsored thing, or on Instagram. So it appeared on my profile every 2 days. It was also important for me to somehow think more and create more questions when it comes to how society wants us to be, how trends when it comes to body are made, which is completely crazy. But we can see from past that trends like based on a shape of your body was every time. It's not only Kardashians. These trends were years ago, but like I think now we can do these like drastic changes to our body just like this, and that's the issue I'm a little bit worried about. So now I would like to talk about painting I did in Turin this summer, where I was at the Prague Gallery residency. I was working there with Giacomo Modolo, Italian painter, which I think really influenced me, and I influenced him. He started to work with more like erotic and this like figurative theme, which I was like, oh, interesting, interesting. And as I previously said, the surroundings, the place where I work is really influencing me. And I created this painting which is called Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, where there's a female body in this like dominant position, and in a mirror you can see reflection of a male body in this like little bit submissive pose, and on the floor you can see a rose and empty package of condom. So seeing this painting, you can kind of like create the story behind. Also, there are a few details. There's wallpaper, which is inspired with one of Torino's beautiful palaces. And also the lady is wearing really chunky grandma socks. So this painting altogether, it's for me it's a little bit like an illustration of that Italian, vivid, romantic, but at the same time a little bit raw kind of style of life. And I also added a little bit of coffee and red wine into pigments to make it more to make it smell more. So yes.
Interesting touch. So now maybe you can tell us about your plans, how you see you growing in the future.
For sure, my like biggest plan and goal right now is to successfully finish Academy of Fine Arts. And then I would like to travel more, to do some more residencies. I would love to go one more or two times more. I would like to visit America again, especially New York, or spend some more time in Miami for residencies. And then I will see. I'm determined to be a full-time artist, which is a little bit crazy plan, but I love it. It's an addiction, and I don't feel it right now about doing something else.
Okay, perfect. So I think that's what you should do. And then so I think that's gonna happen. So I would say I think we cover a lot. I think it was very interesting for me personally, and I'm sure other people will find it interesting. So thanks a lot for your time, and then I'm gonna see you at the next exhibition in Prague.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you, cool.